The drone spots a lone enemy moving across an open field with no cover around him. From above, the target appears exposed and unaware, continuing forward without realizing that he is already under observation. The kamikaze drone gradually lowers altitude, keeping a stable approach while the operator aligns the trajectory. The enemy briefly changes direction, as if sensing danger, but the field offers no protection. In the final moments, the drone accelerates and closes the distance in a straight, controlled dive. At night, the drone scans an open field using its thermal camera. Against the cold ground, a lone enemy stands out clearly as a bright silhouette. The operator tracks the movement for a moment, confirming the target and adjusting the approach. The kamikaze drone begins a controlled descent, maintaining a steady line as the enemy looks around, unaware of the threat above. The drone moves through the forest canopy and identifies an enemy hiding between the trees. The operator adjusts the angle and sends the drone into a quick, controlled dive, striking the target in the leg and stopping his movement. In a narrow tree line, the drone identifies two enemy soldiers moving between the branches. The operator releases a strike payload, forcing both of them to scatter in different directions. They manage to run, but the hit leaves them wounded and unable to continue the fight. The drone moves low across the field, scanning the vegetation for any signs of movement. At the edge of a dense bush line, the operator notices a faint, deliberate shift in the branches, an enemy trying to stay hidden. The drone circles once to confirm the heat signature and identify the exact position. With clear terrain around the target, the kamikaze drone begins its approach. The enemy remains still, hoping to blend into the foliage, but the drone keeps a steady trajectory, closing the distance with controlled precision. As the drone descends, the outline of the hiding soldier becomes fully visible from above. In the final moment, the drone accelerates and dives straight into the bushes, delivering a precise strike that neutralizes the concealed position. The area falls silent as the camera feed stabilizes, confirming that the threat has been removed. Two enemy soldiers walk along a defensive barrier made of concrete tetrahedrons and coils of barbed wire. They move cautiously, studying the gap between the obstacles, trying to find a way to cross the line without being noticed. From above, their movements stand out clearly against the rigid geometry of the fortifications. The drone operator tracks them from a distance, watching as they test the wire, step back, and attempt another path. The open ground around the barrier leaves them exposed. Once their position is confirmed, the kamikaze drone begins its slow descent, maintaining a stable trajectory through the cold air. As the drone approaches, the soldiers hesitate, unsure whether they have been detected. Their attempts to hide behind the concrete shapes provide little protection from the aerial view. In the final seconds, the drone accelerates and dives toward the pair, delivering a precise strike that stops their movement and leaves the defensive line silent again. The drone follows the narrow lines of a trench network, scanning each turn and corner for movement. A section of the dugout shows clear signs of activity: disturbed soil, fresh footprints, and scattered gear. The operator confirms the presence of enemy soldiers inside. The kamikaze drone drops lower, aligning itself with the trench opening. An enemy rides a quad bike across the field, trying to outrun the danger. The drone closes the distance quickly from behind and delivers a precise strike to his back, stopping the movement instantly. The montage shows several kamikaze drones striking enemy vehicles on the move. Each approach is fast and controlled, with the drones locking onto trucks and light transports carrying infantry. One vehicle tries to turn off the road, another accelerates across a field, but the drones adjust instantly and hit with precision. The drone moves slowly through a dense tree line, scanning the narrow path between trunks and branches. In the center of the planting strip, an enemy soldier walks alone, moving carefully through the uneven ground. The sound of the drone reaches him, and he instantly drops to the dirt, pretending to lie still in hopes of blending with the shadows below. From above, his outline remains clearly visible. The thermal contrast, the shape of his gear, and the sudden movement give away his position. The operator widens the view for a moment to confirm there are no other targets nearby, then recenters the camera on the man lying motionless beneath the trees. The drone descends slowly, maintaining a controlled approach despite the tight space created by the branches. The enemy doesn't move, hoping the drone will pass overhead, but the aircraft adjusts its angle, shifting slightly to avoid the thicker parts of the tree line and keeping the target perfectly aligned. As the distance closes, the soldier's pose becomes even more defined, a clear sign he is trying to fool aerial reconnaissance. The montage presents a sequence of drone strikes across different parts of the battlefield. Each clip shows a new encounter: lone soldiers moving through fields, small groups hiding near tree lines, and scattered positions set up among ruins. The drones track every target calmly, approaching with the same measured precision. From above, the terrain shifts constantly: open ground, dense vegetation, broken houses, and dug trenches. But the pattern remains the same. Once an enemy is identified, the drone circles briefly, locks the angle, and begins its descent. Some targets try to run, others attempt to hide under branches or behind debris, yet none manage to escape the controlled dive of the kamikaze aircraft. The footage highlights how drones fill the gaps between larger operations. They strike quickly, without waiting for artillery or armored support, removing isolated threats and disrupting attempts to regroup. The montage captures a series of precise drop strikes carried out by drones positioned high above the battlefield. Instead of direct impact, the operators release small payloads that fall almost vertically onto enemy soldiers moving between trenches, shelters, and patches of vegetation. Each release is calculated with care. The drone hovers just long enough to ensure the angle and drift are correct before letting the charge drop. Enemies below attempt to hide under branches, crawl into shallow trenches, or flatten themselves against the ground, but the falling ordnance finds them with surprising accuracy. Some clips show enemies scattering when they hear the drone overhead. The montage captures a wide range of drone operations unfolding across different terrains. Each clip offers a new angle on how unmanned systems shape the battlefield, from direct kamikaze strikes to high-precision aerial drops used to target soldiers taking cover in trenches, ruins, or open fields. Some segments show drones gliding low over empty ground before identifying a single moving figure. Others display cautious approaches through tree lines, where enemies attempt to hide under branches or behind fallen debris. But regardless of the setting, the drones maintain a steady, deliberate rhythm: detect, confirm, approach, strike. In several scenes, operators use drop munitions to neutralize targets without committing the drone itself. From above, the charges fall cleanly into narrow spaces, trench angles, gaps between destroyed walls, or small pockets of vegetation. These hits force enemy groups to scatter, breaking their positions apart. Other clips return to classic kamikaze tactics. The drones descend quickly, locking onto moving soldiers who try to sprint across fields or shift between defensive points. Some targets attempt to fire back, others freeze in place, but the final result remains the same: a precise impact that removes the immediate threat. Across the entire sequence, the footage emphasizes how flexible drone tactics have become. Whether striking from a distance or diving directly into a position, the drones operate as a constant pressure, preventing enemy forces from regrouping or holding ground for long. The footage shows a wide stretch of fields where multiple enemy vehicles sit damaged, burning, or abandoned. Smoke rises in thick columns, drifting slowly across the landscape and hanging over the broken silhouettes of armored carriers, trucks, and support machinery. From above, the scene resembles a quiet aftermath, but every frame carries the weight of what led to it. Many of these vehicles were part of assault groups pushing toward Ukrainian positions. Others served as transport for troops or equipment. Now they stand gutted and silent, a reminder of how quickly armored strength collapses when faced with modern precision strikes. The open fields provide nowhere to hide, turning each vehicle into a clear target once detected. The quietness in the footage is striking. No movement, no returning fire, only the lingering smoke and the slow fade of cooling metal. It reflects a larger reality across Ukraine: towns emptied, roads scarred, and entire areas reshaped by months of attacks. The destruction of this equipment is not just a tactical moment, but part of a long chain of events that has forced ordinary people to flee and left once peaceful regions unrecognizable. This fragment shows the cost of ongoing aggression: burned machinery scattered across land that once supported farms, villages, and daily life. Each destroyed vehicle represents another attempt to advance, another operation halted, another reminder of how deeply the war has carved into Ukraine's landscape. And above it all, drones, artillery, and observation systems continue to monitor the fields, ensuring the lines do not shift again. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like.